So as I said, this is my office. You can see my messy office, of course. I should probably clean this up a little bit. You've got, of course, my computer. I'll probably have a few more screens here. I actually have a receiver there and some nice headphones. The cat's down there begging to get in. And a bunch of stuff I'm trying to sell on eBay as well, so that's why it's a little messy. This will look much nicer as I get it up. I'm actually thinking about maybe putting some lights up there, maybe some fluorescent lights, and either I can hang some stuff up there or put some stuff down on the desk somewhere in terms of plants, and have a little grow light system growing on over there. But over here on this side, of course, my messy desk with eBay stuff. Here's my Legos up there. And some nice Star Wars collection and some geeky books there. But over here is where I'm kind of starting a little grow room feature here. Right now I'm trying to rely on light. That's a window well, basement window well that you can see over there. It's dark outside right now, which is why you're not seeing. But right now I'm just trying to rely on, I've got a little fluorescent light lighting up the office. Keep that on for the day. We'll see if that works in conjunction with the light from outside, if that's enough light or not. It's actually nice and warm here because over here I've got a computer which keeps it warm down here, so it's warmer than the rest of the house in here. And there's actually a vent there that also puts heat from the heater in, so it stays nice and warm. So I've got a great environment for plants down here, assuming I can keep the light going and water and everything. So we'll see how it goes. So right here, I've actually moved my. I've got these city planters here. You can get these on Amazon. I get everything I can on Amazon. You can also find them at your local Lowe's or Home Depot, though. But I've got some really cool plants here. I've got right here. You know, I've actually forgotten which is which here. So I guess I'll figure it out. But this right here, one of these is I'm thinking this is probably an orange tree, a little dwarf orange tree. But over here, you've got spikes there. I think this is probably a lime tree, a dwarf lime tree. I honestly can't remember. And then over here I've got this is likely my lemon tree here. And rub the leaves here. Smell it. It smells like citrus here. Actually, this one has a better smell than the others. But it smells really good. And then this right here is growing really well. This is a pomegranate tree, a little dwarf pomegranate tree. This at some point will grow little teeny pomegranates. Never grown any of these successfully before, but now I think in these city planters, I've actually had the greatest success in getting things to grow in these city planters. That, as you can see, there's a little pipe here, and I filled these with water, and water fills up towards the bottom. And there's actually, I've got this on the towel here, but if I can get this to show, I don't know if you can see it or not, but down here there's a little hole that will empty water if I fill it too high. I usually don't fill it that high, but that's what happens. Then in the middle I actually grow stuff. I actually might fill these up a little more until the citrus trees grow a little bigger. Actually, once the citrus trees are bigger, I'll probably transplant them into, I've got some other self-watering containers on the way from Amazon that I'll probably move some of these citrus trees into. But in the middle here, this is a Thai basil tree, and I just trim this as I see flowers sprouting up. I trim this, I dry them out, and I actually turn these into Thai basil powder that I can use on foods and stuff. But I've also got fresh leaves here at any time that I can use in my food as well. This one is starting to die. I've been trimming this pretty heavily. Eventually I'll replace it with something else, but this is just a normal basil plant right there. Again, I'm not an expert on this. I'm just kind of learning as I go. That's really the best way to garden, I think. But let's get up here. Got some new plants I've gotten recently that are really cool. And let me just cover this real quick before I get to my newer plants. So this right here, I've tried something that I have been a complete failure at. And this is a hydroponic, I think they call it a Dutch planter, or I can't remember what the name of it is. But I've I've heard you can grow orchids in these hydroponic systems, but it has not worked at all in this planter here. Either I've been giving it too much water, too little water, not enough nutrients. I'm guessing I've fed it too much water. But I also got some stevia plant here in the middle, and it dried for a while, but I'm noticing that it's growing little, flowers at the end. So that means it's either dying and growing those flowers, or it's producing new leaves and new growth, which might mean that it's working for the stevia plant, but not the orchid plant. So that's interesting to know. And I've actually got it on a timer here down here that runs, turns on for about 8 hours, turns off for about 8 hours, because it's good for the roots to dry out, and they try to grow further down there. Also not very new. I actually transplanted this from my outside garden into a pot. I like to have sage and thyme in my smoked turkey at Thanksgiving, so I planted some sage and I planted some thyme over here, and I got those growing in a little herb pot here. I might grow some other stuff here in these little holes here, just so I've got a little bit of stuff here and there that I can use and put it in the foods. I don't have a whole lot of herbs in my food. I'm not much of a cook, so I'm kind of learning as I go here. But so I don't need a ton yet. Maybe as I learn more, I'll get better. But in terms of my new food, so this is really cool. So this right here, it's got a couple leaves there. It's lost some leaves, I think partly due to the weather and moving it around a little bit, but I think it'll grow more leaves here soon. We'll see. It might just be dying. We'll see. I might have to try it again next year. But this is a dwarf kiwi plant here. And this one right here is the male plant here. It requires a male and a female to be able to produce fruit. The females over here, it has actually lost all of its leaves. I'm hoping it grows leaves again here. I'm going to keep feeding it and hopefully happens. But it produces little teeny, a little bigger than grape size kiwis that you can eat just whole without peeling, which is really cool. And it grows like a grapevine. So I'm going to plant this come spring when it's a little warmer out here in Utah. It'll probably be around April, May likely. And I'm going to have it drape over a fence I've got out in my backyard. I'm going to run some piping water out there, and we'll see how it grows. But these will vine out and grow like crazy. So I'm really excited to have kiwis in my garden, which I didn't even think was possible in the U.S. Another one that is an indoor plant, and this will actually grow pretty quick, so I hear. This is a dwarf banana plant. This will grow about 2 feet tall, likely maybe to the height of this window here. I'll probably retransplant some bigger pots here eventually, but this will produce little teeny bananas. The variety is actually I'm horrible at my memory, a truly tiny banana plant is what they're calling it. So it is truly tiny. That's just a seedling though. And I just got this today. This is really cool. And this will actually grow about 6 feet tall, maybe taller. Likely hit the roof. But this right here, which I have yet to put into a pot, just came in the mail today. Got it on Amazon. It's an avocado plant. This is I think it's called a Haas avocado plant. I like to call it the Hoth avocado plant because that's easier to remember. But this will grow into an avocado tree and will produce avocados probably about summertime. I can actually get this in what's called a Fuerte avocado plant, and if I get the two growing, I got this for about $50. You can get and this is a what do you call it? Not a transplant, but a graft, which means that it will produce fruit sooner than later. Normal avocado plants can take up to 15 years to start producing fruit. That's why I didn't do it from seed. But I bought this for about $50 off Amazon. They shipped it to me. can get a Fuerte for about 70 bucks off Amazon. So at some point I'm going to get a Fuerte avocado plant and grow the two. And the Fuerte will actually grow in the fall, fall and winter, while this will grow in the spring, summer. And I'll have a constant supply of avocado all year round. So that's really cool. And this is just the start of my indoor garden here that I don't know, I'm kind of taking it playing it by ear, and we'll see if the current light conditions are good enough, if it's humid enough, or if I need to bring in like a humidifier or something like that. I've got some new pots coming in that self-water that I'll probably transplant a few of these into and make it a little more space conscious here. But really cool. I'm loving the results so far. Anyway, this is Jesse Stay of GeekGreens.com.